What is up, everyone? Welcome back here to Call of Dragons. In today's video, we're going to try to hack the resource farming here in Call of Dragons. We're going to give you so much resources in this video and you're going to love it. By the way, my name is Shinchi42. We are creating Call of Dragons content here regularly, so consider subscribing to see more tips for Call of Dragons. Now, today, we're going to show you a bunch of ways on how you can get resources in Call of Dragons, and then I'm going to give you the hack. It's not actually like cheating hack, but it is more of a life hack in Call of Dragons. I will never teach you anything that is like cheating in Call of Dragons. Now, if you see videos out there that says gem hack, resource hack, you need to be careful, especially if they are trying to make you download an external party, third party, because there could be a virus on that application. So be careful whenever you watch videos out there on YouTube. Today, we're going to teach you a life hack in Call of Dragons on how you can get way more resources than farming on a resource node. I'm going to teach you what I'm doing here because it's going to help you significantly in Call of Dragons. So if you guys like Call of Dragons content, what are you waiting for? Consider subscribing to the channel with your notifications turned on, so whenever we upload a brand new video, you are going to be the first one to see our video, so you are going to be ahead of everybody. You guys can also join our Discord. Link is in the description below. And by the way, we also work with COD.guide. If you're looking for a text guide in Call of Dragons, you can definitely check out COD.guide to see some text guide for Call of Dragons. And if you guys are wondering, and maybe you guys are new because we're making this video pre-global launch. Pre-global launch, you guys can see we're playing this game on BlueStacks. So if you are an iOS user, you want to play Call of Dragons now, you still got a month to do so. Download BlueStacks now. We have a link in the description on how to do everything in here, on how you can get access on Call of Dragons right away. Now, if you are not using the PC client yet, you can definitely use BlueStacks as well. There's a link in the description. Again, everything that you need will be in the description. So there are a few ways to farm resources in Call of Dragons. One is by farming in the resource node. You guys can also farm in the alliance node. This is the typical farming method in Call of Dragons. You can go to the Alliance. You can see there's Alliance Resource Center. This will be dropped by the officers of the Alliance or the leader. So you can, gather from here. You can see a lot of people are gathering in this area. All right, so you can do that. And also, whenever you gather within the Alliance territory, you do have a 25% boost. So that's very helpful to know, because you could be farming outside of the territory and you're not getting, the boost from there. So like for this example, you're not getting 25% boost since you are out of territory. And one more thing to give you guys a insight here. If you farm outside of the territory, you can also get attacked by other players. But if you are farming inside the territory, you will not be able to get attacked by other players. So if you're farming like this, it says here the owner is your Alliance MVPC, which is my current Alliance. Pururu cannot be attacked in this node since it is in the Alliance territory. Now, another method that you can get resources is not just by farming into the node. You can also get resources commonly from collecting within your city. So like this, right? You can collect within your city and you can use some of the boosts like 24 hours enhanced gathering that helps you to gather resources outside the city. And you can also use some gold, wood, or mana boost for your collection within the resources in the city. So those are two common ways to farm resources. Now, another way to farm resources is by defeating the dark creatures. By defeating the dark creatures, you can also get gold, wood, and as well as mana. Plus you get XP and as well as the arcane dust. But today we're not going to focus much onto the other stuff. Rather, we only focus onto the resources that you can get. Now, another one that you can get resources is from the Darkling Fortress. You can get resources here, which doesn't show here in the Darkling Fortress rewards preview. You can get all of these, plus you also get resources. And I'm going to show you this here today. Now, other way to get more resources is sometimes you can get them from events, just like this. You get them some of the chests, right? You get some resources from here as well from doing the events. And another thing is, I've talked about this in the previous video. If you haven't seen that video yet, check this out. There's a card up here. You can also get resources from War Trophy Talent Tree for Peacekeeping. All right? Resources from here, it will go in here. As you can see, we have 132 of the bundle here. This will give you 5,000 gold every time you defeat a darkling or dark creatures or a dark fortress. That's going to add up long term, and it's not going to be scrapped after the season ends. So that is something that you should definitely look into. Remember, guys, resources are very important, because if you are in a massive war, you will need resources to do your resource healing. All right, it's going to allow you to do more combat within the day. So let's get into the hack portion of this video. All right, more of the life hack. For this, we need to understand how farming works. All right. So as you can see, there is this level 6 gold mine. This is the highest gold mine right now. And I have my gatherer. So as you can see here in talent tree, we focus on Earth's Grace, overall speed, logistic master to increase gathering speed. And then we also have Earth's Grade. So whenever you finish gathering resources, the hero receives equal to 2% of the number of resources gathered, up to maximum of 20,000 XP per day. And then we increase the resource gathering for wood, for mana, for gold, and as well as for ore. And then we increase further gathering speed by 20%, reducing the load also by 10% capacity. And don't worry about the load capacity, all right? Because you can get more load capacity by doing the war banner in your increased maximum legion capacity by 2,500. That also increase the load capacity as you get more legions in the march. And then we increase further gathering speed in here by 15%, which will be applicable to all type of resources. And we can also increase further onto the load capacity in here for the overall load capacity. And then we have this Earth's Grace, which whenever we finish gathering resources, the hero receives another XP, because I'm still trying to work on the XP of the hero here. Once it's maxed out, then we will not use the Earth's Grace. What I am actually going to be doing is that I'm going to use the Undeterred, so that whenever it is only composed of transport unit, it can never be intercepted, so it'll be safe. Now, once you have reached here in the end, you have two choices: the Windfall or the Lay of the Land. Now, here's something that I would recommend for you. The Windfall is good in the early game, all right? In the early stage, maybe Season 1, I would say use Windfall. But once you get into the later stage, once you kind of max out more of your resource production within your city, then I would say Lay of the Land is better. Now, let's see why, all right? You can see here, we can gain the resources, which is the bundle here. We get 3 of them, so technically you get 30,000 gold, you know, times 3 everything in here. Now, what's nice about this is that this is going to be stored in your bag, which cannot be plundered by enemies if you do get attacked. Now, if you get the 50% boost, it is also really good, as you will get all 4 of your resource production. And not just that, it is actually going to boost all of them, which is really good. It's going to boost all the resources. So I think it's better in the end rather than now, because right now you can see for me, I have lower level onto the production here. Now, once they're pretty high level, I would say then it is good to use the 50% for that one. You get more benefit out of it. But that's very subjective to everyone's want and needs, but that's only my opinion right now. So I would say once I kind of maybe get these to maybe around level 20, then I would start using that. Now, imagine if all of your gatherers will have that talent tree in here, which is really good. When your legion has been gathering for 1 hour and completes a task, resource production in your city will increase by 50% for 1 hour. So imagine that you can just stack up on that. You're always producing 50% per hour. One more thing to add into this is that if you are producing this, you need to make sure that you log in and collect. All right. So we kind of talk about the talent tree in here. Now, let me show you here. If I'm going to gather this, right? I'm giving you a lot of backgrounds in here for resources. So I'm going to still make a whole video just for resources talent tree as well. If I gather here, take a look in here. All right. This is going to be 1 hour and 51 minutes to gather 700K of resources. At 750K resources to gather that. Now, let's take a look into this spreadsheet here. All right. As you can see, we have our darkling fortress, rank 6 and 7 and then 10. Now imagine that you have to farm this for 2 hours to get this. Let's say you are in alliance territory, you have a better technology. Let's say an hour and a half. All right, or maybe max 1 hour. I don't know what's the max capacity yet to do this because my technology is not up there yet to finish. All right, so we can still definitely upgrade things in here. So let's just say 1 hour right now. Let's just say 1 hour. In 1 hour, you can probably do at least maybe maximum if you're quick with the Dark Fortress, maybe 10, right, of the Darkling Fortress. Let's say level 5 right now. So level 5 of that is this. All right. Now there is also a level 6, so you get more in level 6. But let's just do level 5. So let's say you times 10 this, you get, 4.6 million. And then times 10 this, if you rank 10, like for example here, rank 10, right? You can get 5 million, right, in an hour. That's a lot. 5 million. Instead of doing this here for an hour. Now, you can only rally one at a time, so I would recommend to keep one rally and have 4 farming. Now, one thing I should add in here, if there is an event where you have to defeat the Darkling patrols or the dark creatures, for example, it is the Alliance Crisis and the other one is the Depository one, I would say do that first because you get more value from doing that. And in here, let's take a look into the spreadsheet. If you are going to do the darklings and dark creatures, you need to consider these important things in here. You need to do 270 CP, all right, to get all of this. Just to calculate how much you get out of this, you get 300,000 out of 270 CP. So you're actually getting a lot more if you are doing rallying on forts. Even if you get rank 6, right, you're getting more. Now, if you get rank 10, you're definitely getting 200,000 more. And you can just say the same thing with mana and as well as on stone. Now, you can say you can consecutively kill at 40, right? Then you can do multiple of the 40. Let's say you do 40 times 5, then you'll be at 200 CP. But you're still going to be getting, 300K. Now, let's say you have more marches, and yes, you can do it more per hour, but you're not getting more value per CP. So that's one thing to really consider here. The real hack here is rallying barbarian forts more than defeating dark creatures. And by rallying barbarian forts, you are also getting the treaty here to upgrade your rally center. And like I said, whenever there is an event where you can get the box blessing and as well the Elinas, I think the mask for that one, I wouldn't recommend for you to do the barbarian forts because on that event, whenever you open, like for example, we open the box of blessings, you can get some sentinel arrow, which is going to help your watchtower. And then eventually later, you can recycle those as well into the goblin market or into the market. Keep in mind as well, if you're defeating the darklings in here and the dark creatures, your max reduction for CP is 10. It will go to 40. So here's my ultimate pro tip for you guys. So this is what I would typically do on my day-to-day basis in here. I will have 4 gatherers, and then I will have 1 doing the rally. Now, like I said, you can rally it and get rank 6, 7. You still get a lot of value. People are going to join you just like what Ken is doing. Some people would join him. He's probably not going to get rank 10. You can do this hack that I'm doing is having another account in here and just join, all right, to get the rally going as well. And then, I'm trying to also work on my out here to grow. Whenever I rally Darkling Fortress, I will then get rank 10 rewards, just like what I've been getting here in the battle report. I get rank 10 rewards, and I'm getting a lot of resources in here. And I'm also getting a lot of the tactic manuals, and as well as arcane dust and some speed ups, or get some treaty as well. Now, one more thing that I would recommend for you guys to work on in here is work on your CP recovery. As you can see here, my CP recovery is pretty high now, and as well as my stamina. So whenever you go to sleep, you want to fill that stamina of your CP, and you want to get it as high so that you get more value. So as you can see, this is also maxed out, stamina 1 and breath control. So ultimately, the tip that I'm giving you here is you need to do Fortress, all right? You need to do Darkling Fortress because you do get a lot of value by doing these in here. And not just that, not just that, because whenever you do Darkling Fortress, you're also going to get more rewards in here, more resources in here, right? You get resources, you get these key points, which is going to unlock this blessings chest, and you also get some speed ups here from the blessings chest as well, right? So you get a lot of value by doing forts. And if you can do the hack of allowing yourself to have an alt, and if you can bring it within the alliance, if you have space, you see this guy, I'm gonna kick it because it's too far. If you have space in your alliance, fill it up and do more darkling fort rallies, because you get a lot of value, and this hack is so good, and you are going to stack up on all of those resources, and no one can plunder those resources because they are going into your bag in here, right? It's going to be in this bag. And every time I do rally, as I mentioned, I get this dark resource bundle because of my peacekeeping talent tree. So if you are hungry for resources, then definitely do that. Anyway, my friends in Call of Dragons, I hope this video is helpful and will be your key to success in Call of Dragons. This is not that difficult. Just do your rallies, consume your CP daily, and you will be in good shape in Call of Dragons. I hope this video is good enough for me to receive a like onto the video and subscribe as well. I'll see you again into the next video. Give me your opinion in here. Have you guys been doing this trick or hack? I don't know. Let me know.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel